posted in Financial Independence. What is the best financial independence advice that you've ever received? Response 1. Mine wasn't necessarily financial independence advice, but eventually led me here. 20-ish years ago, I'm sitting in one of my last few computer science classes when the professor just stopped in the middle of the lecture and looked around. He said something like, "You're all about to go out in the world and make more money than you've ever made. Keep living like you are now and put all that new money into your retirement plan before it ever hits your paycheck. Once you see it in your paycheck, you're going to spend it and increase your lifestyle. When you get a raise, put that money towards your retirement too." Then he went back to teaching. But this stuck with me, and when I got a job out of college and was doubling my income, I set my first retirement contributions at 15%. And when I paid off the car I bought while in college, I kept making the same payment to myself into savings. I'm not where I could be, but I'm happy where I am, and I try to pass off that same advice to everyone I hire who asks me about the company retirement plan and show them the financial independence flowchart. Response 2. To be honest, make more money. This sounds cliche, but once I realized that the best way to save was to earn more money, it got my mind on developing my skills and making intelligent moves in my career. At some point, however, quality of life becomes more important, so I factor that in as well. It has worked for me, learning how to be a critical, high-impact employee and knowing when to leave an employer for a new opportunity. Response 3. For me, it was the nugget of wisdom that most people are not doing the right things when it comes to handling their money. So it's good to not just blindly do what you see all others doing with their finances, no matter how smart or educated they may be. Response 4. Find a good partner. Divorces are expensive. Brush your teeth really good 2 times per day. Dentists are expensive. Take care of your health, clean food, exercise and sleep. Doctors are expensive. Look after your mental health as best as you can. You guessed it. Depression is really expensive in all aspects of life once it sets in. Also, time is not money. You can always get some more money, but you won't get your time back. To appreciate how priceless your health is, would you trade your eyesight for $1 billion? Do you think about this question profoundly? Because if you wouldn't trade it, that means you have an asset that's not measurable in financial terms. You're infinitely rich from this perspective. Try to stay blindfolded for a few hours and do things around your house like that to experience how it would be to be blind. Have gratitude and remind yourself, if you have health, you have wealth. Response 5. Honestly, the most important thing is being mindful about how you spend your money. Find out what really makes you happy and spend on that. Cut out everything that doesn't. When you become conscious of what you spend your money on and what makes you happy, it makes saving so much easier. I used to spend much money on clothes and junk. Turns out they give me little happiness versus jiu-jitsu, cycling, the gym, and reading. So I spent more money on those hobbies and cut ruthlessly on everything else. Response 6. The best advice I've ever received was to learn to delay gratification. It is one of the most important skills to achieve wealth and helps you live a more fulfilling life. Also, the whole idea of financial independence can basically be summed up through the phrase, live on less than you make and invest the difference. Response 7. When I was 14, I spent a summer working for my aunt, who is an accountant, and she paid me for it. The last week I was there, she gave me a few printouts that demonstrated compounding interest and Roth IRA contributions. The first showed how I could take the money I earned that summer and turn it into more money, meaning future value with one-time contribution. The second showed how I could use the money earned over the next 10 years to make more money, meaning future value with periodic contributions when I'm young. The third showed what I could expect if I waited until I was extremely established to start saving, meaning future value with periodic contributions from ages 25 to 35. And the last was blank. No money if you don't save anything. Clearly, Saving more early on when my expenses were low would net me more money in the long term. The time she took to explain this to me in a manner so that I understood it, it made a huge difference for me, and it was fantastic financial advice. Response 8. You know, there is more to marrying rich than what people are giving it credit for. There's two ways to marry rich. There's the family money rich, and then there's the marry the spouse that is on the same page with you as it relates to finances, as well as marrying the spouse that has some earnings potential. In this world, two individuals making significant money in the household have a large advantage over others. Remember, money disagreements are one of the biggest drivers in the divorce rate. Just something to think about when you're picking up that waiter or waitress at the bar on Saturday night. Response 9. Before making money, learn first how not to lose money. Look for a partner, significant other, that will support you to build the life you want. Ask. Ask for promotion, the raise, the discount, the free gifts. There is so much benefits out there if we just reach out. The worst outcome is getting rejected, but don't be a Karen if we get rejected.